skin. Look how crispy that skin is. It's got to be nice. Been invited out for an evening meal at a goat restaurant. We'll have a go, see what that's like. If I can get across the road. And it is. Roast goat's lovely. Low fat. Healthier version of lamb, if you like. So 2 sauces. Both of these are fermented sauces. This one here is fermented sticky rice and I believe soybean as well. This one is fermented tofu with a little satay, which is garlic and chili paste. And today is the first beer I've had for quite a while now. Actually, one of the things I love about this style of restaurant is when you order a beer, they bring you a beer. And they bring you a bucket load of beers, so you can just keep drinking at your will and just count them at the end and charge you accordingly. Well, the roast goat looks lovely. I like the addition of the sesame seeds on it. So, intestines stuffed with blood, basically a blood pudding, but intestines stuffed with blood, fat, and sticky rice. Yeah. Roasted goat meat. Okay, I'm going to try this one, which is, as I said, kind of what I said earlier. Oh yeah, sticky rice. It's actually quite sweet. Quite a nice and easy sweet sauce. The fermented tofu is slightly almost cheesy. It's almost got a sort of cheese-like quality, like cream cheese, but it's very nice. If you want a good lean meat, then, as we all know, goat meat's the way to go for that. So the lemongrass, stripped of the outer shell, is obviously a lot softer, a lot sweeter than the outside fibrous element. Now I was told to dip it in my drink, in this case beer, and then dip it in the mum-tom, the shrimp paste, to give it a bit of proper flavour, and that's part of the snack eating. And actually that's okay. Kind of sweet and savoury. I'm not sure the beer adds anything to it, but there's a sweetness with the lemongrass, along with obviously the lemon flavour. But the contrast of sweet and salt works fine for me. Right. Now, let's have a go here. We've got the leads. We've got our blood sausage wrapped in intestine, along with, obviously, the blood that's in it, and sticky rice and some fat. And I'm sure there's a few herbs in there that I'm not aware of. But let's get that wrapped up. Oh, let's try and do this neat. See if I can do this neatly. A little neatly. Not too bad. And once again into the mum-tom for a savoury, rich, and I'm sure I'm going to get a richness from the blood. You've got that fattiness that gives a creamy texture. There's sticky rice in there, so that absorbs a lot of the flavours as well. Actually, there's nothing wrong with that kind of food. This is good food. This is very good. That's actually very easy eating. Okay, so this is steamed goat. And apparently there's stones under here, they steam it. You can see lots of lemongrass in here and lots of onions. So a very simple dish, I assume, to dip in the dips here, yeah? All dips are allowed. Well, sometimes when you're eating these dishes, you get told what dip you're allowed to use and what one you're not to. There's lots of rules in terms of dips. So I think I need to try it raw. And actually just eating with no dip on its own. It's a very clean taste. as you might expect from goat, considering it's not a very fatty animal. Here you've got the skin on it, so you get your element of fat, so to speak. Well, apparently, eating it, wrapping it with the leaves and the lam tom as well. So we'll go with that again. Oi, turn them both in. Could have done with a bigger leaf, I think. So you can see lots of skin, obviously with a small amount of fat. So that gives you the moisture you need for goat. Should really finish one mouthful before I start the next, but okay. I see this as a very, very healthy meal. Very good meal. I do think if you want to come out and have a big meal that's actually not bad for you, not fatty, you've got not a high amount of vegetables, but enough in my book. This is absolutely fine. Okay. Another speciality that tends to go with goat is the blood pudding, which is a fresh blood. Now, they do mix this with something. I think a bit of lime. I know they mix it with something to stop it from coagulating fully. And it's served with some goat's innards there, sometimes a bit of tongue, some intestine, but chopped up goat parts that go into it. And I'm not going to recommend eating it because all the health professionals say you don't, but I definitely wanted to show people this because it is a common food. I imagine the government will put a stop to it at some point because there is a risk of parasites with raw blood. But we'll have a go for a few. I'd like to show you the slight coagulation there. And let's get it mixed up a bit. A bit of lime. Bit of mint because I absolutely love mint anyway, so that's fine. And I don't know why, it feels better eating it with some herbage. A little of the fish sauce. And a little pepper. And and then have a little taste of this goat delicacy. You would expect, it's actually quite salty, and I didn't put any salt in. So I guess there's some salt in there already. You'd expect it to be heavy iron flavour, but I don't get that. Lots of crunchiness from the nuts. Nice taste from the herbs. Acidity from the lime. It's actually fairly fresh. Other than the thought of it, it's not a bad flavour. But as I say, I'm not going to recommend that anyone eats it, but I just feel it's worth showing. Do your own research before you decide to eat it, because there are some minimal risks associated with eating it. And this is my absolute real treat. Oh shit, top. This is the absolute real treat, is beast of a rib. Absolute beast of a rib. I mean, really. Yeah, there's a lot of meat on there, but I will do my best to do it justice. And that's the best bit. You've got your meaty bits at the top here, but this this stuff down here. That's where the real flavour is. And that's nice. Nice, meaty, barbecue flavour. Very, very good. For a family meal, we want to come out with friends and have goat as a real mix. Yeah, it's a real mix of foods here. And actually, you're not going to go wrong. Traditionally, at the end of a family meal, it's always soup. Just when you think you're full up, you get soup and noodles. And, you know, we always joke about people having a extra stomach for dessert. Well, I think in Vietnam, they have an extra stomach for soup. Probably a challenge if you were coming here alone. But if you can get together a group of friends, then it's going to be worthwhile. I don't think it doesn't lend itself well to trying to eat alone. So just had some food put into my bowl, which is a trotter, which I'm sure is probably fine. Very gelatinous they are, if they're cooked long and slow. So it's a gelatinous food. And actually full of collagen, very good for you. Let me turn around so the lao is cooking along nicely. We've got the noodles in, got the veg in, so a couple of minutes and it'll be done and everyone Vietnamese will be satisfied.
Tiếng mẹ đẻ không nghe.
Đúng không? Bữa nay thấy khác lúc xuống Bình Dương không?
Xuống Bình Dương hồi nào?
Lúc xuống Bình Dương đó. Xuống Bình Dương
Well,
tiếng Thư.
as I said, gelatinous. To be honest, a bit like a finger, there's no muscle, so it's just gelatin. Gelatin? Just collagen. Lots of collagen. So this is my second time at a goat restaurant, and as I've said, this is a perfectly good meal. Free-flowing beer and a range of different meat products, grilled, fried, steamed, stewed, whatever you like. They do goat in every single way that you could possibly want. And I think it should appeal to anyone and everyone. An interesting restaurant, good quality meat, seems very popular. They've done a couple of goats today, and apparently they've got another 4 goats in the back. So, and they pretty much stripped this one bare. But no, good mood, good food, good crack. Took a quick video of the front of the restaurant, so you know where the restaurant is, and I'll put it in the description. I'll see you in the next one.